Hello, Chani, Ivandona Vigosi, and welcome to yet another Tubersode of Hlobee. Hi, what it does. A very warm welcome to all my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for your continued support, and to all my new subbies who have just hopped on to the train. I hope you're enjoying the ride so far, and it's about to get better, hunty. And to all those who are new here today, viewing for the first time, do hang around, stick around, and if you enjoy the content that you're getting on the channel, do not hesitate to click on that subscribe button and become a part of this amazing family. My name is Hlobee Mahlangu, and I am super excited to be bringing you yet another Tubersode. I truly hope that you will enjoy this one. On today's Tubersode, we're going to be covering a segment or a section of the channel that I feel like has been quite rejected or neglected for a while now. Yes, neglected is the right word, and that is the acting and theater aspect of the channel. And so if you are a theater lover in the house, if you're an aspiring actor, you surely will enjoy this segment, right, that I am going to call Acting Tools with Hlobee. As simple as that, nothing too complicated, right? So I will start off the segment with just sharing my journey and some of the things that I really think are important when you're an actor, as well as basically that. And but before we get into all of that, we need to start with the word of the day. I will never leave out the word of the day. The word of the day is our firm foundation, child. We do not do anything without starting with the word of the day. And today's word is one that is quite familiar. I believe I've shared it before on the channel, just not sure in how much depth I have, if I've just quoted it or if I've actually spoken on it, but I felt that it was suiting for today's Tubersode. We find today's word of the day from the book of Proverbs 18 verse 16, and it reads, "A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men," right? We know that one. We are always quoting it when amazing opportunities open up, when we put our best foot forward in our gifts and our talents, right? So basically what that word means is that your gift, your talent, your giftings are some of the things that will unlock great things for you in this life, that will have you seated with kings and great men. And it is so true. If you excel at what you do, if you love what you do, you will find yourself on great platforms because of your gift. But today what I find in this word as I read it is that sometimes we're not even aware of our gifts, and sometimes we think it's the one thing that we know for sure that we have, the gifts that we know for sure about ourselves that will open those doors, but there are gifts that we neglect, and those are some of the gifts that will actually open doors for us. So with this word today, I just wanted to say, do not neglect other gifts. Yes, you can be an actor like myself. Yes, you can be well spoken. Yes, you can be this, that, and the other. But be careful not to neglect gifts like being someone that loves others very well. I don't know, like being a loving person, being open, like being that person that people can come to and talk to and like share their lives and ask for advice. Do not neglect such a gift. Being a giver, do not neglect such a gift. Being someone who is able to plan things and really coordinate and do all of this. Do not neglect the other gifts that you have because of that main gift that you know for sure is something that you're great at. There are other things that you're great at that you may take for granted, and those could also be gifts that will open up so many more opportunities for you, more than the things that you actually thought will open opportunities for you. If you check in the book of Ecclesiastes 11:6, it reads this way. It says, "Plant your seed in the morning and keep busy all afternoon, for you don't know if profit will come from an activity or from one activity or another, or maybe both. So with that, it's like you never know what it is in your journey that will excel you or propel you forward. And sometimes we get so frustrated and we get so angry at God because the things that we are hoping are what will move us forward and propel us are the things that are seem pretty much as if we're stagnant in them, and we get frustrated. But we see that there's other areas and other things that we do that really advance us and move us forward, but we do not take mind, we do not take heed of that because we're not aware of those gifts. So I mean, let's pray to know and be aware of all our gifts. That way you will be able to identify which one of your gifts in this season is really moving you forward and making room for you amongst great men, right? What a good word. What a good word. I hope that it resonates with you, right? Moving right along into the meat, the juice of today, acting and actors' tools. So I have a little bit of flu, so that's why I keep doing that. So I've been an actor for most of my life. I started acting at the age of 11. So I've always been a child who was like the star of the house, you know, the star of the show. Like I would be the child that would always want to be seen, always want to be heard. I'd always be singing. Initially, singing was like those things that I thought would really I would really pursue. Music was something that I thought I would really pursue or become early stages of my life. Like the first time I did a play at school, I was the lead. So you get most of those things. Like I was the star of the show. So acting or art rather has always been a part of my life. And then I joined a community group called TKO in my hometown of Ekangala, and that's when I really was exposed to the power of art. I was really exposed to the many opportunities that art could present to me. We used to perform at all sorts of spaces and places. I think most traveling that I've done, and I think I've mentioned on the channel before, has been through my work. So that's how I fell in love with the arts. That's how I found that spark within me, and I just ran with it. I initially was very skeptical and hesitant about studying acting because you know the whispers in your ear about having no opportunities, about having no money and all of that. But I persisted and I went on to study at the Tshwane University of Technology, studying drama and film, my national diploma there. It was an amazing time, and I enjoyed it. And after that, I made my own works, wrote, produced, put my work out there, and that was quite an interesting time in my life again. So I went back to school then last year, and I'm still pursuing an applied theater qualification because it's something that during my time in the arts has really been something that I really loved. So applied theater is basically using theater, using the arts to address certain things within the society, which I believe that's how art came about. You know, it didn't just come about the way we know it as entertainment or whatever, but it was like that thing in the community that helped to build the community, that helped to heal the community. And it's knowing things like that makes me want to speak more of it on this particular section or segment of the thingy of the channel, you know, because I feel like it's important. All of us, when we start out, we say we want to be superstars, we want to be famous, but I feel like it's important to know that there is so much more that we can do with the arts. You know, it's not just about the glitz and the glam and the fame. And also just to say that once you're famous, what are you going to do with that? You know, you're not just famous for the sake of being famous. You're not just big or celebrated in terms of celebrity status for the sake of that. All these people that are celebrated, or I regard celebrities, are people that have really used the arts to expand people's life, expand their own lives, and do great and amazing things within the art space. So yeah, that's basically my story within the arts, within the context of the arts. And yeah, today I'm just gonna be highlighting some of the most important things that I find in my journey that I believe someone else may be asking yourself. So I want to be an actor, like what is the path that, how would you recommend I go about it, basically? So first of all, like I said, within the arts, in as much as it's all great and well to be big, to be in all the big shows, to be a star, to be amazing, I think it's important to understand really why, for me, really why I pursued the arts is because of this big personality that I have, and just being the person that is always standing out, being the person that is always chosen to do speeches and family functions and stuff like that. I think those are one of the things that made me think, okay, maybe this is how I make my contribution to the society. It is in the art space. It is to express myself through my body, through my speech and all of that. So you need to find out why, really, beyond just wanting to be famous, why is it that you are so connected to the art? And then getting into in my high school years, getting into things like youth arts thingies, arts programs is very good as well. I don't know if we still have a lot of those in townships and in communities in J, but if you do have something like that in your community, an arts center, an arts program for young people, whatever, try to get into those. And I believe in terms of those, like arts program, art centers, I feel like any young person can get involved into something like that. And I feel like it's a productive way to really get to know yourself and to learn about your community and your society. It's a positive way to really grow, rather than just sitting around in the hood and doing all the things that you shouldn't be doing. I really recommend it for any young person, even if you don't feel like you are artistic in any way. But I believe arts really stretches you in ways that are unimaginable. Like some of the things that I learned in the arts are things that I apply in so many other things. It just gives you so much confidence, and it just opens you up so much to the world, which is something I feel like we all need, that awareness of the world around us. So yeah, definitely know your why. Get into the spaces, get into artistic programs or whatever. If those aren't accessible to you, things like acting classes, acting workshops, stuff like that, get into stuff like that, definitely. And then those are the ways in which you can teach yourself outside of going to an actual training institution. But that's the third thing that I believe is very important: getting trained, knowing what you're doing, knowing how it came about, knowing how to use this talent and these tools in your body in a way that is most effective. And I believe training also opens you up to so much more. Coming up, being in an arts organization, all I knew to do was to sing, to dance, to act. Those were the focus, and sharpening those skills. But as soon as I studied, I learned things like directing, producing, curating festivals. You learn about writing. That's where I learned my skill of script writing. You learn about so many other aspects of the arts that you could be involved in, which I believe is very important, because of our industry in this country is very small. So you can't be, especially if you want to do this for a living, you need to be able to do a lot of things at once. Yes, so go to school. That is my third thing, I believe. And my fourth thing is love what you do. Like, take it seriously. And I feel like right now the disadvantage of our field or our industry is that a lot of people just do it for the sake of, they're exposed to it and they have all access to it. But not a lot of people are doing it out of love. A lot of people are also doing it because they want the fame, but not a lot of people love it, and not a lot of people make sure that they're in the right space to perform at their ultimate best when they show up on our TV screens when they show up on our theater stages. So love what you do, research about it, work on your craft, take some time to work on your craft. I don't like it when people take it for granted and like, I've been acting for all my life, you can wake me up and I can act. That's one thing, but really taking the time and putting in the work, it brings about a quality of work, a quality and a standard of work that is so much better than when you are just thumb sucking and you're doing what you know. But when you go the extra mile to uncover something bigger, it just makes it all that much more meaningful. And I believe every single one of the actors and performers that we know and love, they stand out to us because of that thing, because they go there and they put in the work. So definitely I would say love what you do and put in the work to better your craft and to be a cut above the rest, which is something, if you're someone who follows actors and stuff like that, you will hear this a lot. You need to prove yourself, you need to stand out, because there's a lot of us that are talented, there's a lot of us that went to school. Even these days, there's just a lot. It is a very saturated industry, it's a very saturated field, but you need to go the extra mile so that you can stand out and you can give reason for someone to work with you. Be pleasant, have a good work ethic, take your work seriously. I think that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing is put yourself out there. In this industry, if you're not going to put yourself out there, you're going to be in trouble, you're gonna suffer, because I feel like, we say in the acting industry, but I feel like in any field nowadays, it's all about the connections that you make. It's all about the networks that you are a part of. So make it a point to put yourself out there. Make it a point to tell people what you do. Make it a point to be out there on social media. Share your work. Talk about your work and all of that. Attend events that, will have actors, directors, casting directors be in those spaces, show up in that way. I think that would be my fifth and final tip about really making sure that you set the foundation. I think today it's more about setting this talk is more about setting the right foundation for yourself as an artist and as an actor. And in coming Tubersode, we'll talk about distinctly more like what you should do, things that will help you do great things in your acting career. Definitely has been a mouthful from me, but I definitely always love and enjoy talking about the work that I do. I hope that you enjoyed today's Tubersode, and definitely hope that you will continue to tune in for more. Do not forget to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share the channel. Definitely still need you guys to watch more of the videos. I find that a lot of people that are tuning in for the first time are the people that really watch, but some of y'all are out here not watching all of the content. So I still do encourage, please engage with the content so that we can grow and expand and do great things. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning into today's Tubersode. I look forward to the next one. Remember to spread love, light, and positivity. I'm outie.